Once again, from a secret, undisclosed location, hidden somewhere deep in the bowels of historic downtown St. John's, comes In the Library of Graphic Literature, with your host, me, Wallace Ryan. Well, how's everyone doing this week? Unfortunately, it's been I've missed last week's show. My dear brother Jeff passed away. Actually, the weekend passed. Jeff, I spent most of my life with. He was what we call an Irish twin. We were only 11 months apart, and we lived together most of our lives, so very close. And I'm gonna miss him. So this show is dedicated to Jeff. Love you, man. Okay. So. Sorry, it's a bit late too on a Friday, but here we are anyway. Okay, so we got a few books here to look through, and let's start with this. Screwball, the cartoonist who made the funnies funny. Let's see who made the funnies funny. Okay, this of course is from the fine folks at the Library of American Comics. Very, these folks, as I've said many a time, really do churn out the best of the best when it comes to, well, especially to newspaper strips, stuff like that. Let's see, okay, this covers Frederick Opper, let's see, George Harriman, Rube Goldberg, E.C. Segar, Milt Gross, Gordon Booty, Robbins. So, yeah, so it basically shows a few of their strips and talks about them a bit here and there. And she's actually a nice bit of illustration anyway. So great, good book for you folks who are researching comic strips, for instance. Here, have a quick look. Like I say, they just do great books. Very nice layout, very clear. The comic strips are usually printed with care and attention. They're always very clean printings, stuff like that. So yeah, definitely another winner from the Library of American Comics. Thank you very much, guys. Good work. Thank you, Paul C. Toomey. Now, after that, of course, the time for a sip of tea here. Yet another in the Carl Barks Library. This is Donald Duck, Christmas in Duckburg. So, of course, like I say, anything Carl Barks has done is worth collecting. I just wish they'd speed up on this. Instead of putting out to put out, maybe three a year. I think they're only putting out 2 a year, I do believe it is. But yes, sometimes I think they could speed it up a bit. But then again, I mean, we're looking at some quality work here anyway. So I know some of you may not be huge duck fans or funny animal fans, but I suggest people give it a try, because ever since I first discovered the world of ducks, I've really fallen in love with both Rosa and Carl Barks. Truly two of the better ones. And it's opened my eyes to collecting series like the Disney Masters, which showcase some of the best of the European talent. But yeah, nothing like good old Carl Barks. Great stories too. That's the one thing I really like about the Disney, especially the Carl Barks stuff. Very well written. Whew. Okay. Now, what do we got up here next here? Check this out. One of the more hang on a sec. If it wasn't for tea, I don't know what I'd be doing. Coming from Dark Horse, Volume 4 of one of my new favorite series recent series, Harrow County. So this is the final volume collecting volume 7 and 8 of Harrow County. There's tales from Harrow County, other stuff and all that. But as a matter of fact, I'm still in the middle of reading volume 2. As a matter of fact, there it is right there. As soon as I get through that, I'm going to whip through this one quick as shit, and then, quick as I can, and then move on to reading even more new stuff. You know, you get some people who think that, you know, the last great comic, the great comics were in the 60s, or the 70s, or the 90s, which no one says. But comics to me, it's like movies. There's always good, and music. There's always good stuff out there. Every generation, it's just finding them. And Cullen Bunn, to me, he's one of the great new writers out there. And this entire series with him and Tyler Crook, beautifully done. I love the artwork, the painted quality of the coloring, and the stories are just absolutely mind-boggling. I'm trying not to look at it as I'm flipping through here, because I don't want to give away anything to me before I finish reading this. But yeah, definitely, like I say, if you haven't read Harrow County, you are truly missing out on something fantastic. Whew. Now, let's see. Now, this is basically, like I say, once again, 2 weeks books in one show, so make sure I get it all down. Here we have something else here from Dark Horse, which is a new series, relatively new series. This is the Umbrella Academy Apocalypse Suite, Gerald Way and Gabriel Ba. Great book. Love the artwork in this. You know, I'd looked at it for years and stuff like that, and when I knew this book was coming, I had to look at a few soft covers just to have a look at the artwork, and I really liked what I seen. So this one, Umbrella Academy, especially for any of you who might like the show, check it out. The Netflix show. I think I'm actually going to read this book before I watch any of the TV show, though. Myself, I prefer to start out with the source material and then have a look at any adaptations from there on. But yeah, it looks cool, right? Looks great. So I'm going to give this a shot. This goes on to the reading stack. Well, I'm just whipping through them here this week. And don't worry, Thursday comics, we're still getting ready for that. Like I say, have to deal with all the personal stuff this week and all that. It's been too much, so I just cut back on my work schedule a bit and stuff like that. But we are still moving ahead with Thursday comics with Dennis and I. We're still talking about and all that, but and hopefully next week now we'll get it all together, and we'll start broadcasting to everyone out there in comic book land, and spread the word. Thursday Comics is going to be the cool podcast on comics. It's going to be more than just books. We will actually talk about, say, more recent comic book series and stuff like that. And it won't be hate, and there'll of course be lots of swearing. So stay tuned for that. Okay, on to the Masterworks for this week was Volume 9 of Doctor Strange. I'm a huge Doctor Strange fan, of course. I have all other 8 volumes before this, and absolutely love Doctor Strange. He's a character that takes a very special type of artist, and that's what I like about this volume, because in this volume you have some great art with Marshall Rogers, Paul Smith. There's even one Gene Colan story, a Michael Golden, and Charles Vess, along with Kevin Nolan. So this actually has some really great art in it, and these stories I had all these when I was younger, especially the Marshall Rogers. Anything that came out back then by Marshall Rogers, I would hustle my little buns down to the comic book store to get. So yeah, once again, another great volume. So let's have a quick look here. This, of course, this is the Marshall Rogers stuff. Like I say, more than any other series character I can think of, Doctor Strange really requires a very special artist. Usually one with a very unique style. It's not just anyone can do Doctor Strange and get away with it. And Marshall Rogers, strangely enough, he was one of them. So love this whole series. And there was Brent Anderson, not bad, but not really suited for it. But this was the Mike Golden story. Still one of my favorite all-time Doctor Strange stories. Then this was Paul Smith, a very good one. Then Kevin Nolan, and last but not least in this is I skipped over it. Is the Charles Vess story, who once again is the type of artist who's perfect for Doctor Strange, a unique style. But I'll show you actually something neat about this. Okay, so have a look at this. Well, right. So here it is, printed and whatever. But let's take off the dust jacket here. Oh my God, it's missing the logo. Or is it? Anyone else out there have a misprinted Doctor Strange like this? Like I say, this is it. This is from front to the back, and this is the back of it. So it's upside down, printed on the back. I don't know whether or not this is just my copy, or if there's any others reported out there. Let me know. Okay. Whew. As you notice, it's probably not, well, the lighting is different from the usual lighting because I'm shooting this, it's probably almost 9 o'clock our time, Newfoundland Standard Time, so it seems a little bit, the lighting is different, but that's because I had so much today. Like I say, I was hoping to do it this afternoon, but then I had to leave on other things, but I got back. And of course, I haven't forgotten all of you grand folks out there in comic book land. Okay, last and definitely not the least, because it's never the least when it involves Jack King Kirby. This, of course, this is the Golden Age Simon and Kirby. Featured Captain America, the Vision, and the Fiery Mask. Woo! Sounds scary, doesn't it? Okay, plastic, get you off. I'm liking these Timeless Greatest, by the way. They're very nice looking volumes. Great inner covers, that type of thing. Alright, nice enough. But yeah, oh yeah, nice art here. This involves, of course, Joe Simon, Jack Kirby. Never did get to meet Jack, but I did meet Joe when he was towards the latter years. But yeah, this is basically make it even easier. Just read it off the back here for you. This collects the Dairy Mystery Comics 1 and 3, 6 to 8, Red Raven, Marvel Mystery Comics, The Human Torch number 2, Captain America Comics 1 to 10. All Winners 1 to 2, USA 1 to 3, Young Allies 1, and Mystic Comics number 7. So yeah, all good, very early Kirby work, and worth checking out. I liked his vision too. His vision there was just something about it. The Fiery Mask, it was probably about the. I mean, it was cool, but I mean, you know, to me, it's not one of Kirby's great pieces. Oh, the Phantom Bullet here too. Okay, so a few other things thrown in here. But yeah, it's I love to see Marvel printing more of their Golden Age stuff and do nice size omnibuses like this, right? So there's the already got the Submariner one there, and I'm making my way through that, and this is going to be another one that'll be fun making my way through. Well, this is Kirby too, so anything to me having to do with Kirby to me is a labor of love. Labor of love. Labor of love. Yeah, there. That sounds better. So there we go. It's funny looking at Kirby's old style and thinking about how he moved from this sort of rather smooth, fluid looking style of his until he became the square jawed, very very chiseled style that he developed into the 50s and into the 60s and on. But you can still see bits, flashes of what was to come in it. And this is why he made such an impression compared to a lot of other Golden Age comics that you see and all that. They just don't have the action like that you see in a Simon and Kirby story. They were famous for that great action. Kirby was doing stuff back then that people didn't even realize that was being done until years later, when a lot of things he's done, like the double page spread and all that, sort of became standards in the comic book world. Anyway, that's it for this week. Actually, it's like I say, a nice little stack there and all that. Once again, like I say, it was this weekend last week. Actually, last week was only the Doctor Strange, so most of it was actually this week. Yeah, that's it. So, looking forward to next week's show, and looking forward to getting the podcast out to everyone out there. So, stay tuned. It is coming. All right, I promise you that. Anyway, once again, thanks for having me over, and I'll see you again next week. And like I say, much love from everyone here in St. John's to and everyone who knew my brother as he's looking down on us. Way to go, man. Love you. Okay, see you next week. I love all of you out there. Come on. Yes, that's boom tube music. Oh my God, look at the size of that boom tube. Okay, folks. See ya. I love you all, and thanks for all the support. I really appreciate all the comments people have sent me over my brother. I love everyone out there. Okay, see you next week. Bye.